Hello everyone, welcome back to YK Reviews. It's Star Wars Celebration over in the UK. Trailers got announced, project got announced, lots to dive into, so let's just get into it here. So as mentioned, it's Star Wars Celebration. They've basically announced like future projects, what they're gonna do, what's up and coming here. So tons to go over. Timestamps is going to be in the description down below in terms of every single project that we're going to be discussing here in this video. So if there's anything in particular that you're more interested in, anything that you want to learn more about, timestamps is going to be in the description down below. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, like button, hit that notification bell so that you don't miss out on any videos. I do weekly entertainment news videos, separate videos on bigger projects that are also getting announced. So subscribe so that you don't miss out on those. Also, reviews and series will be coming out very soon as well in the next couple of weeks regarding other projects. So again, hit that subscribe button so that you don't miss out on that. But the very first project that I want to discuss here, and it's the biggest trailer that also got released over the weekend, is the Ahsoka trailer here. This is going to be coming into August of this year, so roughly in a couple of months time here. And in terms of the trailer itself, you've got a lot of characters. You've got like a little glimpse of Grand Admiral Thrawn, you've got Sabine in there, you've got a little glimpse of Ezra Bridger in there, Ahsoka obviously, you've got Hera appearing. So basically everything from the Star Wars Rebels coming into live action form. Some parts of the trailers you've got feeling a little bit like flashback sequences here. There's also been rumors that Hayden Christensen's going to be returning as Darth Vader or potentially as a Force ghost, maybe flashbacks in terms of like Anakin and Ahsoka, which I hope is the case. But in terms of overall the trailer, it does look like it's building something nice. My only thing is that for the people that haven't seen the Rebels animated show, one, I highly recommend, a fantastic show. They're going to be kind of lost in terms of the translation of what's going on with the show itself. But I am really loving what they're putting out in this trailer itself. I cannot wait to see what they're going to do with it. However, and this is honestly going to be in terms of all the other projects too, is that my hype level is slightly dampened a little bit because of like everything lately that Star Wars has been producing. The Mandalorian season 3, which is currently ongoing with just a couple of episodes left, has left me very underwhelmed. The Book of Boba Fett just not as good as it could have been. So much missed opportunities. Kenobi was a decent show, but the plot lines just was all over the place. So I'm a little bit worried when it comes to Star Wars, just the direction that they're going with. But with Ahsoka, a character I absolutely love in terms of the Clone Wars in Rebels, fantastic characterization. Grand Admiral Thrawn I think is going to be a fantastic villain. So I'm hoping that it is going to be proving me wrong. I'm hoping that the series is going to be a lot better than other previous projects. But let me know your thoughts, your opinions in the comment section down below in terms of Ahsoka's TV show, what you think about it, what your hype level is, if you've seen the Rebels, how excited are you to see them in live action form as well. Let me know in the comment section down below for that. And the next project that it's been announced, apparently during the Star Wars Celebration they showed a little sneak peek in terms of the Skeleton Crew, but it hasn't been released to the public. I'm pretty sure there's like a pirated mobile version copy of the Skeleton Crew somewhere on YouTube, but we haven't really got any like information in terms of the public when it comes to like trailer footage or teaser trailers or anything like that. In terms of the actual project itself, it's basically, I've also mentioned this in the last week's weekly entertainment news video, I believe it was. It's basically starring Jude Law and a group of kids set around the same time as The Mandalorian, but not much is known about it. And John Watts basically described it as a throwback to 80s ambulance movies like The Goonies. John Watts, basically the director of the Spider-Man No Way Home, Far From Home, Homecoming trilogy of Spider-Man movies. 3 movies I thought were very fun and entertaining, so he's going to be behind this Skeleton Crew. But again, not much is going on in terms of like what we're giving in terms of information, trailer, teasers, that kind of stuff. So in terms of hype level, it's still on the little bit of the lower side. Jude Law, I think, is a fantastic actor and I can't wait to see him in this actual project. But in terms of like the premise of the show, him with a group of kids flying around, I don't know what you could do with that. So again, I'm hoping that once we do get a trailer, this is coming in 2023 as well, possibly the end of 2023, so maybe once we see a teaser, a trailer, we might get some kind of idea of like what kind of direction they're going to go with the show. But let me know your thoughts, your opinions in the comment section down below in terms of the Skeleton Crew here. And in terms of 2024, the next project that they also released here, and there was a trailer that got released, again, not for the public, but for the people that were there. I don't know if it's like a fan-made trailer or if it was a legitimate trailer. So take that with a grain of salt. It's somewhere around YouTube. I was able to see it, but again, don't know if it's legitimate. But Andor season 2 is going to be coming out in 2024, so next year. I was going to be doing a full in-depth season review of Andor season 1. I just at the time felt sick, came down with a very bad cough and a cold, wasn't able to record the video, and it's just been so long since Andor came out that I just have not had the opportunity to record it, and I just feel like it's too late at this point to do a video of it. But for Andor season 1, I had a fantastic time with this show. This was so well written, and this is at peak Star Wars. So I mentioned the previous shows, Kenobi, Book of Boba Fett, were just such a letdown, but then this really elevated Star Wars once again. The show was so brilliant. Andor as a character, Andy Serkis, also his character too, was honestly had one of the best scenes in the whole show. I loved what they did with this, and I cannot wait. Like, I really enjoyed Rogue One, the movie, and the build up to this, the series leading into the movie, I think is one of the better Star Wars projects that they've recently done in the last couple of years. So with Andor season 2 coming out, I'm very, very excited to see what they're going to be doing with that. And so in terms of the next project that's also going to be coming out in Disney Plus in 2024 is Star Wars Acolyte. And if you're not familiar with this, it's basically set in the later days of the High Republic era, basically events taking place before the Phantom Menace. And with this show, it's basically from the creator of The Russian Doll, a show I've not watched here, Leslie Headland. So it will be a Star Wars mystery focusing on a former Padawan who teams up with her Jedi Master, going through the galaxy, going on adventures. It's starring the Squid Game lead character Lee Hong Hao. I'm so sorry if I mispronounced it. Daphne Keane, Manny Jacinto, Dean Charles Chapman, Carrie Ann Moss, and the Chewbacca actor Juna Suatomo as a Wookiee Jedi. Once again, huge apologies for mispronouncing any of those names. So this, for me, I'm actually genuinely excited about this project. I've wanted to explore events before the Phantom Menace, before all of the Skywalker saga took place and all of that stuff. So for me, having this events take place here, and there's another project too that I'm really, really excited for, which I'll discuss as well. But having these information, having this plot going on in terms of former Padawan, former Jedi Master teaming up, taking on the galaxy, something that I'm desperately been wanting and hoping that this show is pretty good. They had some set photos released a couple of months back. It looked very promising. So I'm actually curious and excited to see what they're going to do with it. So let me know your thoughts and your opinions in the comment section down below for that. And in terms of movie projects, they also did announce 3 movie projects coming out. One, you know what, I'll just get through the one that I'm least excited about and very, very nervous about. It's an untitled Sharmeen Obadiah Chinoy Star Wars movie. Apologies if I mispronounce her name here. But basically, she was in charge of Miss Marvel, and this is a new Star Wars movie that will be set in a new era called the New Jedi Order, and will be set more than a decade after the events of Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker. And for me, there's also been confirmation that Daisyridley, who played Rey Skywalker, is going to be set to return for this movie. And for any of you that have watched the last 3 movies and were a fan of the movies, I'm really happy that you got to enjoy the movie. When The Force Awakens came out, and you know what, I'm going to be doing a tier ranking of all the Star Wars movies and TV shows that have come out once the Mando series finishes, so keep an eye on the channel for that. There's going to be a tier ranking for all the movies and series there. But when it comes to The Force Awakens, I genuinely enjoyed that based on what the storyline was going to be when it comes to like the future of the franchise. But then after The Last Jedi, after The Rise of Skywalker, I was so disappointed with this storyline, with these movies. One of the worst movies that they could have done with the Star Wars future, and just the characters that they introduced, like Daisyridley, like no disrespect to her, no ill feelings towards her. Even her character Rey Skywalker was okay, but the script did them so dirty. Like, you've got John Boyega, Oscar Isaac, Daisyridley, like they just were handed such a bad script. Even like Adam Driver playing Kylo Ren had so much potential, but if you haven't seen the movie, spoiler alert, bringing back Palpatine and just having Luke Skywalker throw that lightsaber, just like so many things they did wrong with these movies and this trilogy of movies, that I genuinely thought that they were gonna not proceed, not canonize these movies. But the fact that they're doing this movie, having it set 15 years after the events of The Rise of Skywalker, with her setting up her own, building her own Jedi Order, I don't even think that's a good idea, because you had Luke Skywalker try doing this years ago. He wasn't successful, so why should we believe that Rey Skywalker is going to be successful in doing this? Like, they made her character just so like overpowering, and even like characters throughout the movie too, just like being able to yield lightsabers like it's just a common toy that you could use. And even going back to Luke's throwing this lightsaber like that, I still just pisses me off. Like, sorry if I'm ranting here, like these last couple of videos, just me ranting over decisions that studios are making, but I just genuinely don't think this is a good idea and don't understand the logic to that. I do want them to move forward from the whole Skywalker saga, have the franchise move forward, have them progress and go with different storylines, but I don't think they should be continuing the whole trilogy of movie storylines based on like the last 3 movies there. So I don't know if this is going to be called episode 10 or if they're going to be going with a different route. I just don't know, but this for me is the least excitement I have for a movie. There was also some other projects too with Kevin Feige and Taika Waititi's Marvel projects. That's still being rumored. It's not 100% confirmed that these movies are going to be moving forward, so these projects still are yet to be announced. But this one, least excitement for me here. The next movie that they also have got is an untitled Dave Filoni Star Wars movie. It's basically Dave Filoni. I'm a huge fan of him and what he's done with Star Wars. I think he'd done a fantastic job with Clone Wars, with Rebels, the characters that he introduced. And with this one, it's basically a movie putting together the Mandoverse, completing everything there. So the Mandalorian, the Book of Boba Fett, Ahsoka, other TV series. So it's sort of all the build up to that, leading into a gigantic big movie here with Dave Filoni. And basically the movie is planning to focus on the New Republic, the government body that comes into power in the wake of the Empire's implosion. So again, my expectations are sort of high, but not as high as it would normally be, just because, like I mentioned, the Book of Boba Fett, a huge letdown. The Mandalorian so far, season 3, is just not having that same vibe as season 1 and 2. Like, if they announced this after the end of season 2 of The Mandalorian, I would be super pumped. I'd be the first one in the cinema after this announcement. But right now, after watching the Book of Boba Fett, season 3 with Mandalorian not having that same type of vibe as like the previous 2 seasons Ahsoka, I'm waiting to see what they're going to do with that. All accumulating to this one big movie. I have huge faith in Dave Filoni, but right now I just feel like the directions that they're going with these TV series is just hoping that the build up and the accumulation of everything, the final act of like the movie itself, I'm hoping it is good. I am slightly excited because I really like the characters that Dave Filoni, like the rebel characters, Grogu, Mando, all these characters that he introduced. I am loving their story arcs and the characters going all into live action form too. Very excited for that. But one, I am still holding out a little bit in terms of excitement level here. But the final project that they also got released, and this for me is the most anticipated I have, James Mangold, Star Wars movie, an untitled James Mangold Star Wars movie. He's the director of Logan, Ford vs Ferrari, Indiana Jones and Dial of Destiny. He will be at the helm of a Star Wars movie set in the distant past, about 25,000 years before the original Star Wars era, so episode 1, 2 and 3. This goes back to the dawn of the Jedi, literally, as Mangold takes on the earliest stage of Star Wars and will be a biblical epic like 10 Commandments about the dawning of the Force, basically. So exploring where the Force came from, who discovered it, how did they learn how to use it, things that I have been very curious about. And I am so happy and so excited because James Mangold, fantastic director, does brilliant movies exploring the lore of the Force, of the Jedis, how it all started and came about. This is what I've been wanting. Either focus on like the past, events that took place before episode 1, or move forward to events that take place after episode 9 and that mess of a trilogy. Just everything from episode 1 to episode 9, that whole thing, just move past that, go explore different things. And for them to explore this, I cannot wait to see what they're going to do with that. I cannot wait to see this movie and this project and what they're going to do with it and the exploration of it. I think this could genuinely be one of the better Star Wars movies that they've recently done. James Mangold, again, fantastic director. So one, to 100% keep an eye out on. This, if you're a huge Star Wars fan like myself, or if you're even a casual Star Wars fan, I think this one will get you super pumped. So let me know your thoughts about all of this in the comment section down below. In terms of the 3 movies, which one are you most excited about? In terms of the series, what are you most excited about? Please let me know in the comment section down below. But that about wraps it up in terms of the Star Wars celebration, the announcements. I know there's going to be plenty coming out also in the near future, so definitely subscribe so that you don't miss out on that. But thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening. This is YK Reviews, and may the Force be with you. Peace.